Okay, guys, show us what you got.
Welcome to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. I am Big Daddy Gonzo. I think I got all my levels going fine here. Let's see, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're having ourselves a hell of a Sunday morning. We're having a really good time. The National Hockey League playoffs are well, not in full bloom, but they're getting ready to bloom right now. And
playoffs
and playoffs. How prepared are we? By the way, welcome to Mazz.
Hey, how's it going over there?
How prepared are we for hockey?
We're going based on percentages, like 1 to 100.
Scoot to your left. You're already you're leaning to the right.
I'm going to end up on the patio.
We are on the patio. Stop it.
I would say we're about 2.5% prepared for hockey.
2.5% prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I could name all the teams, or at least half of them.
Do you at least know anything about the Flyers? You seem to be a Philly guy, right?
More Penguins than anything else.
Oh, you're a Penguin. Oh, Penguins and
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Yeah. Well,
Pittsburgh
the thing,
guy.
but again, I'll be honest with you. I just, if I had more time in the day, sure. I love going to hockey games. I love hockey. I think those athletes, the hockey players, are probably the most fit and the most toughest of all the athletes in all the sports.
Brutal.
Just physically demanding beyond, and the talent level for a hockey player to do all that, what they do, and be on skates. It blows my mind. So, unfortunately, I don't have enough time to ingest hockey. I do love hockey, but it is playoff time. The Panthers are finally in the mix, which is good for local hockey fans here, and that's exciting. So I'm sure I'll be more in tune now that the Panthers are obviously going to make their run, because it's been a while. I mean, they haven't been in the playoffs in how many years?
Oh, man, it's
14 or 15 years. It's been maybe once in that stretch.
I think it's no. It's been
they've only been like one time in the last.
It's been like
so many
3 years, and then 12 years before that.
Yeah, so like one in the last 15 years. I said, yeah, it's been a while.
But listen, the moment I saw the Panthers hire Joe Quenneville as their head coach, I said, that's a playoff coach. That's a cup-winning coach. Yeah. That is a guy that can take that's a guy that can take 24 scrubs and at least make the playoffs. That's a guy who can take a team with 3 or 4 good line players and make the playoffs. And he has a deep roster with the Florida Panthers. Deep roster. 2 good goalies. Okay, so don't.
That's the key in the playoffs. I mean, I've seen it many times where you can ride a hot goalie.
Playoff beards are very important. I already started mine a couple of weeks ago. You, of course, you've always got your playoff beard ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready again. I've been growing it back a little bit.
He's all beardy.
Yeah.
So, but no, of course not. We're totally woefully unprepared. because I'm a casual Panthers fan, and you are just not paying attention at all because
Very
of all
little.
kinds of other stuff going on.
Yeah, it's just
but
hard.
One thing that it does do is it signals the return. Because I'm vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. Are you
What?
vaccinated
What?
for COVID?
What? No, I'm not vaccinated yet. I have chosen not
You're
to
going
put
to
the
have
needle.
to sit in the upper deck. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay,
They're going to
This
assign
is
seating
lower deck.
based upon your card. They
You
won't do
are
that.
upper deck. This
That's
is
funny.
lower deck.
I left my card at home.
upper deck.
That's what I'll tell them.
Bring your. You see,
Good.
He's got his too. See,
In a few months, when you guys are growing extra extremities, then make sure we sing that
Who are
same
you
song.
kidding? I've already got. Well, I already told you the side of it. Well, first of all, I got my second shot yesterday. Okay, and last night, after about 6 hours after the shot, I started to feel, a little
Straight?
yes, straight.
Straight again?
Wow.
That's how that thing works?
Wow, really? It's just going to go right there. Just
What?
going to go right there.
What I meant by that was you felt erect.
Are you erect?
You felt
Straight and
strong.
erect?
Yes.
Not heterosexual with
Had
an
no
erection?
inclination at all. It was
Are
only.
you implying I have erectile dysfunction?
I was only suggesting that you probably felt as strong as you've ever felt before.
well, as strong as I've ever felt before?
Yeah. Post second shot. That's not how that works?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can tell you that the joke I made when I got the first shot was is a prehensile penis a side effect of COVID-19 vaccine? Not the Pfizer though.
Did you double check soon after? Make sure everything was
I
so
Googled
good?
it like everything else.
No, I mean
Googled
physically.
it.
Did you do an examination, a self-check test of any kind? Worried
Yeah, I
about?
swung from a tree.
Okay, so everything was fine then. So what are you worried about? You're
I
good.
got my vaccine.
It's nice.
Fully vaccinated. Go sit in the upper deck.
It's nice.
But it's so good to know that we are going to be able to have live sporting events again. We are going to be able to attend sporting events. We may even take next week off to go attend a sporting event or really have a short show.
Yeah.
So that we can go rushing out of here to go see the Miami Marlins take on the New York Mets.
We won't have any problem with parking, I'm sure. If we do leave a little bit late, I'm sure we'll still get there in enough time to catch the first pitch.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that next week. Maybe we can do a few shots from down there, too.
Oh, of course we'll do social media.
Like one of those.
Of course, we're social media prostitutes. But speaking of Major League Baseball, your boy from the Seattle Mariners,
Jared Kelenic.
made his debut.
I spotted him a few weeks ago before the season started, and now he's up quickly.
His first game.
Oh, for
back.
what?
No, not his first game.
I saw
his second at bat. He hit a dinger.
Oh, I didn't know that because I thought I saw him come
he
up.
took one like 420 feet out.
Okay, because the game I watched.
How do I know more about baseball than you do?
Well, maybe that game. Listen, I've been a little busy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but
we've both been busy.
outside of that, no, seriously, I've been watching that kid like we talked about, like maybe 6 weeks ago now. I said, watch this kid, see, I was going to call him up. And in order to get called up in May, you got to be pretty good. Because the team is committed to you. They've committed to you not only in terms of getting you on the field, but now they got to pay him. Okay, there's no more. See, baseball with their contracts and their eligibilities and stuff like that, it's weird. Like you can have a guy play for you and then not be considered playing for you, essentially, like September call-ups, or there's certain little rules, there's Rule 5s, there's other things. It's so intricate. You have to almost have to be a lawyer to figure it out. But they brought this kid up quick, and he's good. And if you look at his stature, he's not a big kid. He's 6 feet, about 180, but his hand speed and his hand-eye and his ability to strike that baseball, kid's going to be in the leagues for a long time.
You don't have to be a monster to play baseball.
Well, again, it's changed.
Large physical stature isn't necessary.
I'll give you a perfect example. Mookie Betts.
Oh, yeah.
Mookie Betts is another guy slight in figure, in stature, maybe, again, 6 feet, 180. But, again, these guys are strong. They've got exceptional hands, quick hands. And, obviously, these guys with the launch angles now and everybody swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
Good contact. Ball's going to go over the fence.
Of course.
So, and these guys are pretty good. So, yeah, Jared Kalenic is up, and he is in the bigs.
Well, I thought you would know like every little factoid about the dude.
Well, no, I mean, obviously, I've been watching him a little bit. I know he's up. I know he got called up.
I caught him off guard again. I caught him off guard.
Well, I'll tell you what. I had him in my lineup the very first day, and I'm going to go back and check and see because he was minimum price on DK because, of course, he was whatever, just called up.
Nobody knew.
And he's there. He's arrived. So. What's interesting in baseball, since we're on the
I have some concerns about your ability to, really be intense and really keep up with, because I hear the other guys in your league, they're very, very
they're concerned.
They're very they've been doing this a while.
Yeah, they're experts.
They're experts.
Yeah, I've just started this baseball thing, so I'm just getting my feet wet essentially, just to kind of get a feel.
Who could have saw that coming?
Nobody
didn't see that coming.
Didn't see that coming. Play on words, love it. That's my team name. It's fantastic. Baseball. By the way, the White Sox are pretty good, and their manager is also pretty good. Even though I've never been a Tony La Russa guy,
he's 100.
I mean, again, there's been a lot of stories about Tony early on in his career, and not well liked, maybe by the players, but not so much like other coaches.
He likes the alcohol, the libations.
He's had a few DUIs, hasn't he? Yeah. But in any case, good old Tony, he's doing it. Those boys are playing. The White Sox are playing. Scary incident. I don't know if you saw it, but Jose Abreu crashed into who was the other player from the White Sox? Oh, he's actually the other guy's landed on concussion protocol. These guys hit like two elephants. Literally, I thought they both were.
Yikes.
I thought they both were dead. Abreu played yesterday, came back the next day, actually hit a home run, so he's okay. But the other guy, and I won't think of his name, he is on concussion protocol. He got messed up, dude. I thought he was dead. Literally, these guys are big guys, Abreu and the other guy.
Well, I saw the highlight of the incident, and I noticed it was such a violent collision. They actually didn't show it too many times.
It was like, extreme for baseball.
I'm a football fan. I like it. Yeah. I'm a rugby fan. I like it, but
I mean, once in a while these guys get hurt. I mean, they're going full speed. You see collisions into the wall or whatever. Guys will trip on the track, but these guys full bore. I mean, just like one of those, and then. It looked bad, but luckily Jose came back yesterday, and he played, hit a homer. So White Sox are playing well. They're still playing well. I pulled up the standings. We talked about this last week, the irony of the standings in baseball. Still the Red Sox in first in the American League East.
Yep.
Yankees have started their run like I said they would. They're playing better ball.
But the Red Sox haven't slowed down.
Well, again, listen, the Red Sox are not going to win that division. I mean, they're going to be competitive. I think they've obviously exceeded their expectations to
and
this
you still
point.
haven't said the name of their manager yet, which is funny because he's a cheater.
Yeah, well, no, he's a cheater. There's no question. And by the way, F the Astros. We're playing very well, too, by the way. They're on fire lately, too. So, yeah, Yankees are in second place now in the division. They're a few games behind Boston, 2 games back. Boston, they're playing well, but the Yankees have certainly caught fire. So you still got Red Sox. You got the White Sox, who we mentioned that is leading the Central. And then in the West, you have the Athletics, who are also a game up above who we've aforementioned Houston Astros, cheaters, scumbags, losers. They're now in second place, half a game back of the Oakland Athletics.
You are so agitated. You had to adjust yourself in your seat. You were so agitated about these guys.
Yeah, because again, I don't know if you noticed, but I started to vomit in my mouth, and I caught it in time to swallow it. So I was leaning that way to get rid of it. Over in the National League, the old man's league.
The Marlins are just getting housed by the Dodgers. I mean, I don't know what it is about the Marlins, but they are pretty much a get well team for the Dodgers this weekend. It's been that
way. Well, Bauer pitched this last game, and he's a beast.
Right.
I have a stat about him.
He shut him out last night.
He went 7 innings.
Shut us out.
Yeah, he went 7 innings. No hit. I think he had 2 hits. He gave up, no runs in the last. Since Trevor Bauer's been in the league, and I pulled this graphic up and I want to get it right here, most starts with 10-plus strikeouts since the 2020 season. Shane Bieber, Cleveland, dude's a beast, 13 of them. Okay, nobody ever heard of him. Trevor Bauer, Jake DeGrom, Garrett Cole, all at 8. So Bauer is really good, and he's a fiery dude. You ever see him pitch? The dude, he's excitable. He's on the mound. He's clapping his hands. He's screaming at the batters. That dude's intense.
And you know what's funny?
He hates the Astros, which I love.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, there was a little incident with him and was it Fernando Tatis Jr. or who
from San Diego?
From San Diego. Yeah. And
which is
of
great,
course,
by the way.
Reporters came looking for the red meat. Reporter, what do you think about what he did? He goes, let me tell you what. hitting a baseball with a bat is really hard to do. And, sometimes you get them and sometimes they get you. So if the guy wants to celebrate and have a little fun with it, okay,
go right ahead.
I celebrate and have fun with it. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt my feelings. Like they were looking for something to start some drama.
Of course.
It's like,
that
guys,
pushes
why don't you
the
just
ratings.
report the sport?
Yeah, there's always
the sport.
There's always some fluff that gets put in there as well. So
forget the fluff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what makes the world go round. Everybody likes fluff.
Well, you're going to get enough fluff from players who are fiery as it is. Okay, but you don't need to sit there and lead them. You don't need to lead them. If they really wanted to talk about it, if they really wanted to say something about it, they would lead with it. Okay, they would lead with it. But Bauer, I got a lot of respect for the guy because he didn't take the bait. He set the reporters straight. He said, what he does is hard, what I do is hard, and if he succeeds and did something successful and he wants to celebrate it, and he wants to have a good time with it, I'm not disrespected. I'm not. Okay, I did the whole thing with one eye shut, and he made fun of it.
That was amazing.
And it's like, okay,
spring training games, pitching with one eye shut.
So
That's
okay,
amazing. I love Trevor Bauer. The
So-
league needs more guys like him. And you know what though? You talked about with the issue with Tatis in San Diego. There was some early blood in those games, which is good because those two teams will be fighting at the end of the year. Mets and Phillies have been having a little bit of fun. A few other teams as well. Oh, hey, come in. So there is a lot of that sort of stuff that baseball needs. It's supposed to be an in-your-face type sport. It should be. And from my experience from when I played baseball and growing up and even some travel softball along the ways years later, baseball players are a little egotistical. I think more so out of all the sports. Hockey's are your grinders. Football guys are just big, strong gladiators. But baseball guys, they're a little egotistical. They know they have a skill set that's different than most other sports. And they know that these guys, they work hard. And it's like any sport. It's year-round. These guys, a lot of these guys, we don't talk about them being the McGuire statue guys anymore. But in order to be 6 feet, 180, and hit the ball 450 feet, you got to be strong. You got to be a strong 180.
and have fast hands.
And again, hand-eye, quick hands. So these guys are super talented, super egotistical, and it's good to see baseball finally maybe have a little bit of attitude, get themselves out in front, put them on the block, get them noticed, because people like that. People like to see the bench clearing brawls. I mean, who goes to a hockey game and doesn't want to see a fight? Football.
Speaking of the Panthers have been fighting a lot.
Oh, yeah, they got some enforcers on
That's
that team.
Coach Q right there. That's Quinville. Quinville don't take no crap from nobody.
A good part of the reason why football is so exciting of a sport is because it's so physical. It's gladiator mentality. Guys are out there killing each other, and people like to see that. So baseball, considered a finesse sport because you don't do much between pitches.
Bloodthirsty animals.
Yeah, just bring it in baseball. So good for them. So it's fun. So a National League East, Mets on top. They're playing well. They were expected to be there. Phillies have had a good week. There are a couple of games. I think they're half a game back. So you got the Mets in the East. You got the Cardinals, Tony La Russa's old club. They're in first, surprisingly.
Grinding
because
right
that's
along.
supposed to be Cubs. And let me tell you something about the Giants. They already said coming into this year that after this year, once the Giants cut payroll with guys like Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford and perhaps Buster Posey, unfortunately.
He's still there, though.
I'm saying, but into next year, have a lot of salary on the books, and they're going to be able to get rid of that money. But more importantly, their farm system is vastly improved. The general manager, and I don't have his name and I should, has done an amazing job over the last 3 years. And they've put them in position now where once they clear the books, and with the talent they have, they'll have many decisions. They'll have opportunities to either build talent from within or become contenders, which they are now, and maybe be in a position to make a move at the deadline to make themselves even better.
Right.
So the Giants are on top of the Padres, which are on top of then the Dodgers, who also struggled for a short time. Dodgers will be fine.
Yeah, now they're getting well against the Marlins.
Yeah, but they lost Kyle Seager yesterday.
Again, another pitcher.
Corey Seager. No, it's
Corey
Corey Seager
Seager.
got hit in the hand. Broke his hand in the Marlins
Ow.
game. He's out for a while. I got him on my team, too, so that's a problem.
Well,
But
that's a bummer. But back to San Francisco. San Francisco has a very advantageous or a luxurious situation with Buster Posey. Okay, Posey's on the last year of his contract. They're really not paying him all that much. And he is back to form. He is hitting like the Buster Posey of old. He is handling pitchers and calling games like the Buster Posey of old. I mean, he has literally been off for 2 seasons. Because he had knee and he had a neck and he had a wrist and I mean he had all that all at the same time, and he's back. And I think he's one of the more intriguing potential free agents of the 2022 season.
Yeah.
Or trade bait this year, coming up near the deadline. Or I think the Giants would be very smart to hold on to him. Because I know they've got once they saw that Posey was breaking down, I'm sure they immediately went, we got to get a catcher on the farm.
Yeah, he's been a darling of that team since the draft,
and he's back.
Yeah,
he's back. You're not going to get rid of Buster Posey.
Yeah. See, again, here's the severe disadvantage in the National League: is if you don't have a position to play, no matter how good your stick is, you're a liability.
Right.
Because what
he
happens
can play first as well.
Well, again, and that may be the consideration because again, they've got Brandon Belt over at first that they've had there for years, and if they get rid of him next year, perhaps then they can do a platoon job with
big
Posey.
money.
They can platoon Posey. Maybe he catches 60 or 70 games. Maybe he plays 60 or 70 games at first.
Right.
And then, maybe some of the interleague games, they DH him, something like that, just to get him his 130,
He's an older guy. I mean, he's what, 34, 35?
I'm not sure. Maybe close to that. But either way, he's swinging a hot stick right now.
Huge.
So, maybe there's a spot for him in the American League at some point. Again, doing the same sort of thing. Lock the DH.
I see him as all the way back.
Yeah, lock the DH position a little bit. Again, can play you some first base, can certainly catch a few games in certain situations. So, listen, as long as Buster's swinging a bat, there's a demand for him because he can still catch, certainly.
Well, and speaking of old guys who have ended up someplace new, Albert Pujols signs with the Dodgers of all. I mean, the Dodger killer. When he was in St. Louis, he was known as the Dodger Killer, the Machine. He literally knocked the Dodgers out of the playoffs on a couple of occasions, okay, with the long ball, with his bat. He literally took the Dodgers out. And now the Dodger Killer is wearing the blue.
Yeah.
Does he even know how to wear blue? He's been a red and white guy for his entire career.
Yeah, I don't see blue too well, but I trust that he is going to be able to fit in with them in any way he can. He seemed like, I didn't see if there was any press conference.
Dave Roberts is a genius level manager, so he's going to find a spot for him.
Well, I mean, it's a minor league contract. And again, it all comes down to performance. If he's hitting the ball, he'll get a few at-bats.
Well, you talk about those interleague games, they may use him as a DH.
Perhaps, in certain spots. But he's hitting about $160 this year, so he's struggling.
Well,
and it may be past him. I mean, the high fastball is hard to get. Listen, he's 39, I think he is.
Yeah, he's
100. Or 41. I think he's 41 actually.
He is up there.
Yeah, but in any case, so like natural progression in life, things slow down. And his bat speed has definitely slowed down, and that's an issue. I mean, if you can't get to the high fastball.
We'll see, because we know the Dodgers have a very good coaching system, so they may be able to coach him up. They wouldn't pick him up if they didn't know something.
I mean, it could be a respect thing too. I mean, listen, he will draw in California. He'll help that team draw to some degree. But in any case,
he's already in town.
This is the hardest part, I think, of any professional player's career is the end, is when you're at the point where obviously your skill set has diminished, especially when you were such the face of the league for so long and
monster.
were so good.
Absolute monster.
And it's that fall off that it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and it's that interim period where you start to look at that guy and you say stuff like, well, he's not any good anymore and all this other stuff. It's almost like you want to bypass the part where they start the drop-off until the part they walk away, so you don't have to really incorporate that into your memory. Because I don't want to remember Albert Pujols as a 160 hitter.
Right.
Because he's not. I mean, he's a career 320 hitter.
But he's the guy who made Mark McGwire superfluous. You know what I'm saying? As a young player and playing alongside Mark McGwire.
I've got to look up what
that means. He made McGwire superfluous.
Superfluous.
Extra. Unnecessary.
Wow. I heard super in there, so I knew we were in the right direction.
Oh, my God.
That's a big word. Yeah.
So, all right, anything else about baseball?
Just watch it.
Aliens in baseball?
Oh, we got some alien stuff later.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Calm down. He gets all excited.
Here's the tell. We want to go over to the football league, the NFL.
The Shield, the National Football League.
Number one story, it's every lead is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers,
Right.
Aaron Rodgers. Is he going? Is he staying? They can't draft anybody. Relationship with the
We'll call
GM.
this segment the Mazz effect.
Brian Gutekunst is an asshole and all this other
Brian.
stuff. Brian, married to Karen. So guess what? The NFL puts a schedule out. And on the schedule, they have the Packers in 11 primetime games. Here's the tell.
11.
The tell to me is that the NFL, I don't think, would do something like that if they didn't have some sort of inkling
That is insane.
to know that Aaron is probably not going anywhere. Okay, we talked it up. I was like, writing's on the wall. Why would he stay? They can't draft. They took a quarterback in the first round. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. 11 games.
11.
Yeah, 11 primetime games. I don't think we're going to be seeing Jordan Love hand off to Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones 11 times. It ain't going to happen. So Aaron's not going anywhere. It appears that the team right now is doing everything possible to woo Aaron Rodgers. All the coach speak is coming out now. Oh, we're going to do everything. LaFleur says, "Oh, we're going to do everything in our power to bring Aaron back." Oh, meanwhile, where was everything in your power the previous 9 years to keep him? When you're on draft day and you take a defensive back with your first pick after everybody has been talking about,
Suck it, Aaron Rodgers.
you need offensive help. You need skill set players. You need a receiver.
Let's get a DB.
And they just took a DB. So, again, I mean, would you blame him at this point for trying to say, you know what, the big F you and I'm out? It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like Aaron's best move is to stay in Green Bay.
This whole thing just I can't even speak on it because it makes me laugh. It's like a 10th grade breakup between the class president and the captain of the football team. It's childish. It really is. And now it's gotten to the point where it is salty childish. Once again, your quarterback comes out and drops all these rumors that he's not coming back. I'm done with you guys. Oh, you're not coming back? Okay, I'm going to draft a defensive back. I'm going to draft a corner.
Just the timing of it was just so perfect for Aaron. He was like,
F you.
He's like, I'm going to wait until about, I don't know, let's say day before the draft and tell you I'm not coming back. So,
right.
And that was his way of saying, you know what, I've taken it for so long, and this is the big, you know what, back in your face.
Brian had 4 hours to think about this. 4 hours. An hour before the draft and 3 hours until his pick. He had 4 hours to think about this. And to talk to Thompson and to talk to LaFleur, okay, to talk to his coach and his president of football operations. And he had 4 hours and he went, DB.
Still, it's amazing. But
not tight end.
No.
Not wide receiver. Not offensive lineman, which, by the way, offensive lineman and wide receiver, there were a myriad.
Yeah, he could have easily had gone offense.
Myriad of options.
Could have went offense and then still taken defense in the second and third round and still been fine.
DB. They have Zaire Alexander, one of the best cover corners in the league. They signed 2 free agents at cornerback.
The rich get richer, I guess.
Corner.
Yeah. Well, listen, the Packers have lost 6 games in the last 2 years under LaFleur. Under all the umbrella of all this stuff.
Bet they lose 6 games this year without Aaron Rodgers.
Well, no, if Aaron's not playing, they're going to lose a few more than that. But
I will take all the money I have in the bank and bet that they would lose 6 games without Aaron Rodgers. They would go 11-6. Okay, easily.
Maybe.
I'd say they go 10-7.
Listen, we talked about that division and those
really
quarterbacks.
Good football team,
right? Well, obviously, I mean they got to be pretty good to have that record.
Jordan Love is not Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's not. And who is Jordan Love exactly? I think that's the issue. And now hopefully they know who he is, but we don't. Nobody else in the media, nobody else outside of the Green Bay Packers.
He could be the next Patrick Mahomes. You never know. We had no idea who Patrick Mahomes was.
Well,
even when Patrick Mahomes got that one game at the end of the season because the Kansas City Chiefs wanted to rest Alex Smith for the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes didn't look like much. He ran a vanilla version of the offense.
Oh, no question, yeah.
Which, by the way, Matt Nagy ran.
Yeah, very young Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
And so they had no idea who he was. Okay, no idea who he was. So, yeah, sure, Jordan Love could end up being the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we say we don't know how good Jordan Love is.
Exactly.
But what if he is really good?
Yeah.
What if the Packers know he's really good?
Brian's a genius.
What if it looks like that every move they're making now is because they have confidence in Jordan Love?
Yeah.
And maybe they're holding Aaron hostage as opposed to the other way around. We're looking at it as Aaron Rodgers coming out last minute and saying, you know what, F you to the Packers because of what you've done. Maybe the Packers, like they've done since day one, has been pretty much F you Aaron in some way.
Right.
So that's a possibility too. We can't discount that either. So, but the thing is, we don't know. What I do know is the NFL does know that Aaron's going to be sticking around in Green Bay. Otherwise, they don't put a schedule out where they have 11 primetime Packer games with a rookie quarterback that nobody knows can play. So to me, that's the biggest tell out of all of this, is the shield that you are to protect at any cost is what they've done. And again, to me, that's the writing on the wall. So Aaron stays in Green Bay, and maybe we'll still hear the same stuff we've heard since the beginning about how, especially if they struggle in any kind of way. Oh, let's say Devontae goes down, okay, and now they're looking at
He's another one that piped in.
Maybe they're looking at Marquise Valdez-Scantling as being their top guy. And then people are going to start going, well, why didn't you take a receiver in the draft?
The hyphen.
Yeah. So, but anyway, football's a couple of months out. We got a draft, and I think 3 months. We're on the clock. Football is back, baby.
I'm thrilled.
Not really, but it's coming. It's close.
It's coming.
Little quick NBA talk. LeBron came back yesterday. Looked pretty good. They won.
Both bands got back together.
Yeah. Nets had all their horses.
Nets got all their horses in too.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's
going to be fun to watch. I think the Lakers, it was easy to say because of LeBron, because of AD, that, okay, they don't need the regular season. Obviously, we've seen what they've done before. They won it last year in the bubble and the challenges and everything else, and they were still the best. And when you have LeBron James, clearly you have an excellent shot of winning the championship, regardless of who you have around you.
Right.
But it's different this year, I think, because like we talked about with Albert and the fact that eventually it happens, eventually. And I think this year LeBron knows that he's starting to sense it.
Right.
Because now he's had a few more injuries than he's ever had before. He's been just perfect. He's always been top-notch shape, diet, nutrition, gifted, God-given, whatever you want to classify him as being. He's been a phenom physically, mentally. He's been the icon of what it is to be durable and successful and dominant in his sport. There's no other comparison for the time that he's played. But, again, eventually, that first step is a decline step. And then the second step...
Well, you know who's undefeated, right? You know who's undefeated?
Father Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is literally everybody and
He's the most patient out of all the competitors that we know.
Because he'll be there.
He knows he's going to get his. Yeah. And eventually, I think with LeBron and this year, I think he knew the fact that he had so many games under the belt and the issues with last year in COVID and the amount of games they played so close to the season. Remember, LeBron didn't want the All-Star game. Why? Because he realized he probably needed that time off. LeBron didn't want the season to start as soon as it did. Why? Because he realizes that he needs the time off. Okay. He's gotten the time off now, but because he's been hurt. And that's something you've not seen before. Now, we know Anthony Davis is Teflon Don. You know that eventually he's going to chip a nail or break this or fall down or whatever.
He's not Teflon. He's a crystal chandelier.
What's Teflon Don? Is that the wrong analogy?
That's somebody who nothing sticks to.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him Teflon Don.
No.
Can we rewind the tape? Anyway, I heard that. It sounded good when I thought about
fragile.
it. That too. We all know what I'm trying to say. He's weak. Mentally, physically, breaks down.
I would call him weak.
Well, I would, because when he's on the court, he's dominant. But the problem is you got to be on the court to be dominant. So
I still wouldn't call him weak.
Well, in terms of the weak link,
a very large, strong athlete.
I see him doing commercials now. Who cares? Anyway, the bottom line is
flexing that eyebrow.
It's going to be harder this year. It's going to be a tougher road. not even so much looking at their seeding, because obviously when you got the best two guys on the court that are the best two players in the league, you're going to win most of your games, no matter who you match up against. And there's good teams in the West. Utah's playing well. Obviously, the Clippers are going to be in the conversation, stuff like that. So it's just different. The optics, for me, my eyes usually tell the story. And I just see maybe a little bit of a chink in the confidence. To me, I just think that they rested on laurels because they were so good and so talented, and now there's a little bit of doubt, more so in LeBron's mind, because
it just sets up the drama.
I'm hurting, I'm sore, I'm missing games.
It just sets up the drama. Listen, mortality and injury, it all factors into attention. Okay, let's face facts. Every commissioner from every major sports league, and even the NCAA, they want the most popular teams, the teams that can get the most eyeballs on the most TV sets. They want those teams to be in their championship series, game, whatever. Okay, Adam Silver wants very much to see either LA team, it doesn't matter, but he would prefer the Lakers because of LeBron James.
Sure.
And he wants to see the Brooklyn Nets in the finals. That's it. That's what he wants to see.
That would be ideal. Most people would say
what
that.
he wants to see.
Well, just on star power alone.
Right.
And storylines and everything else.
Right.
And Kyrie and the whole thing. And I get it. So
it's all about your ranking in the TV markets. Now, here's what's really funny. Okay, Chicago's been absent from that for so long.
Yeah.
And believe me, in the Jordan heyday, one of the most beautiful things that, really, really set it off was that Chicago is a major media market. Okay, it didn't matter who Chicago played. They play L.A., whatever. Chicago was there 6 out of 9 years. 6 out of 9 years. And they were in the Eastern Conference Final, was it 8 out of 9 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of Chicago eyeballs. Okay, people in Chicago were rapidly interested in basketball into June. Okay, which did nothing but make the NBA scads of money. Okay, but now you have teams in major markets like Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay, Silver would love to see Dallas get into the finals. Dallas, Fort Worth the Dallas Mavericks would be fantastic in the finals.
Yeah.
Okay, of course the New York Knicks,
who are,
if they were to make the finals.
Right.
Okay.
They're playing well. Randall had his first triple-double last night.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Playing
okay. Well. Major media market. The Phoenix Suns. Okay. Major media market. They want to see major media markets get into the playoffs and get into that final series. They all want to see it. The biggest nightmare for Adam Silver and any other commissioner is to have two small market teams, even one small market team, but two small market teams. Nightmare. Yeah. You get the Utah Jazz versus the Milwaukee Bucks. You're going to have to put Silver on suicide watch. He's going to have a low-rated NBA Finals. Okay, because
right now, overall ratings in basketball are down. All the political stuff that's going on, no matter what side of the fence you sit on, it's affected the sport. And all the sports, I think, in general, in terms of viewership and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see what the real fallout's going to be, because obviously these teams we've talked about make a lot of their revenue through TV rights.
Sure.
But I am curious to see, once we do get back in the stands again, what the attendance is going to be like across the sports.
And I think it's going to be pretty good, because it's been pretty good. They've already got half capacity, and a lot of teams are getting half capacity.
Well, listen, people want to get out. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about staying power. I'm talking about after the initial burst of people just excited to be out of their homes without masks. I think once the dust settles, like, for instance, I want to look at like the second half attendance ratings and comparative to second half attendance ratings when things were normal back in, let's say, 2019. So nobody cares about your card except for you and for us.
Lower deck. Lower deck.
Yeah. So, it's going to be interesting to see where the attendance all plays out, because, again, I think overall viewership is down from what I'm seeing across the board. So
you're going to be sitting in seats that the soda guy won't come up to.
Cold beer, hey?
You're going to be sitting next to a billy goat, a mountain goat.
But the beauty is if I go to the Marlins Stadium and I'm sitting that high, I'll still be able to find you because you'll be sitting next
Fat
to
jokes.
me.
Fat joke. Ha, ha. I'm fat, but I'm vaccinated.
That was not my angle. It was the lack of attendance. It was that
Lack of attendance?
Yeah, it was the fact that there'll be 9
and then a
people
fat
in your
joke.
section, and I'll be like, hey, there's a guy I know. Yeah, so interesting to see what it's going to look like, what the landscape of sports is going to be once we do get back to the normal, the new normal, whatever the term is going to be. My prediction is going to be, I think attendance is going to take a little bit of a hit. Because once people get past the initial burst of wanting to get out, the excitement, then things come into play like money, reality. Most people didn't work for 7 months. They get a little bit of cash now that they want to spend because they haven't been out. But when that runs dry,
you got to get off that unemployment and go get one of them regular jobs.
Yeah, then what's going to happen? So interesting to see.
You know what's really funny about that whole situation is not to go tangential to sociopolitics or anything. But we're seeing a lot of, especially on social media, a lot of arguments about how people are lazy. People don't want to go work a job where they're working for exploitive salary, wages, and that's fine. And maybe corporate America or business America's got to keep up with that. They got to change with the times and start paying people a little more money. But right now, if I was a guy who had been living off of unemployment for the last, 6-7 months or whatever. I had my unemployment. I was getting my $600 a week. I was doing $2,400 a month. And, you can kind of get by on that, okay? But I would be out looking for a good job because there's a lot of good jobs out there. I would be out looking for that good job, the good job. And there's a lot of good jobs out there. So for those of you out there that are on the fence as to wondering whether or not you should give up your unemployment check, first of all, some of them states are getting ready to take their state subsidy for that unemployment check. So instead of getting $600, $900 a week, they're going to take you're going to get a pay cut. So you may as well go out and get that good job. There's a lot of good jobs to be gotten.
The coffers are dry.
Okay.
And the issue is going to be is when these states have to kind of balance their books over the next several years to realize how much damage this caused in many ways. And then they're going to still have to find ways to pay the entitlements, the people, the first responders, the retirement funds, pension funds.
Sure.
All these, the state's going to be broke. In a lot of states, we're in for a long financial haul in this country.
It's going to be a whooping.
It could be a 20-year pretty much stalemate of the haves and have-nots moving forward because of what we've just gone through. So
right. Well, listen. One good way, and I'm going to leave it here, okay? But one good way to help balance the books is maybe not spend so much money on the military. Maybe not spend that much money on the military. I mean, we've got a great military. We have got the most advanced weaponry. We have got the best trained soldiers, the best trained people in all aspects of the military and infrastructure. We might want to divert some of those funds, move them over a little bit.
No, just keep military where it is. Let's take it out of Planned Parenthood instead. So let's
Planned Parenthood was too late for you.
Let's move forward.
But anyway, let's move forward. Careful there. Wait. Where's your bow tie?
It's behind me.
Yeah, it's behind you.
I got it on backwards.
All right, so let's see. We've run through everything, I think.
Wow,
and it's only quarter to 12.
Quick 43 minutes.
Quick 43 minutes.
Do I have anything that I picked up during the week that I want to share?
Yeah, we did like a minute and a half on sociopolitics.
Yeah.
And by the way,
hey, you're vaccinated. When did you get vaccinated? By the way, did it hurt?
No, my shoulder, actually, I've still got the Band-Aid.
Oh, it's in the shoulders? That's good.
Shoulder's a little sore today.
Did you have the option of dropping your pants for the shot, or you have to take it in the arm?
I tried.
They said no?
I tried because the Walgreens where I got it, and it's the Walgreens where I go get my medication because I'm psychotic and I have to get my antipsychotic medications.
It's working.
Yeah, it's working. It's really working. I have got the pharmacy tech is really, really cute. And the pharmacy assistant who did this, she's a pharmacist herself, but the pharmacy assistant who did this was very, very cute. So, yes, I offered to drop my pants for it, and they were like, no, in the shoulder. I was like, oh, okay.
So you caught a shot chub? essentially?
Yes, I did.
Weird.
Let me tell you something.
Weird.
I killed at that pharmacy yesterday. I did 10 minutes. I was with because she wanted me to sit there. She's like, all right, we need you to sit here for a few minutes. Make sure you don't get lightheaded. I'm like, lady, I'm the Incredible Hulk, for crying out loud.
First of all, just a question, side note. I don't think light in your head, I don't think those two words should ever go together.
Right.
Because I don't think that's possible in general.
I've been lightheaded, but that's when I got hit by a steel chair really hard twice.
Yeah.
I don't portend to be a tough guy, but if you're going to try to punch me and knock me out, you better try to do it at least 3 or 4 times. Because I have never been knocked out by a human being. I've been knocked out by a thing. I've been knocked silly by steel chairs.
Been run over by a bus. That was a rough day.
Should have seen what happened to the bus. Yeah. But I'm by no means, I don't consider myself a tough guy. But every fight I've gotten into and somebody's really gotten a shot at me, they're like, "Oh my God, he didn't go down." I can take a punch, but not that you should meet me and then just punch me in the face, because that ain't gonna go well for anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can take a shot. But this girl, I killed. There were 8 people in the pharmacy. I busted out jokes. I did crowd work. This guy knows what I'm talking about. I did my bit where drugs are expensive. The magic napkin bit, where in the club business, I've been in nightclubs for 30 years almost, and everybody, it doesn't matter whether it's a strip club or a regular nightclub or a sports bar, everybody always puts a napkin over. They put a little straw through the hole through, and they put a napkin over their drink to protect their drink. From what? What are you protecting your drink from? Is somebody going to drug you?
I just thought of a great business.
What?
Why don't we make prefabbed napkin protectors? They already have the hole in them. And we sell them to every bar in the country. And they have them. They have regular napkins and they have prefab napkins. They have the regular ones and they have the disease control napkins. Just a little hole in the center. Yeah, they're not recommended for nose blowing, ass wiping, or anything else off the floor.
Unless you want your finger to poke through that hole.
You can put a straw through that hole and have never an issue in your life.
Unbelievable. Yeah. No, but I did the bit, and I'm like, you guys know drugs cost money, right? Drugs are expensive. I have a bit of an extensive history of drug use, both legal and not so legal, and I can tell you for a fact that drugs are expensive. So why would you go through the time and expense? Let's say it's a pill. You want to roofie somebody. Maybe, follow them out and mug them. So you got to understand, a Rohypnol pill costs $25. Don't ask how I know, but they cost $25. And then you're going to go through the trouble of grinding it up to make it powder so you can go and slip it in somebody's drink. And then they're going to drink it, and you're going to wait around a half an hour for them to...
You're going to Bill Cosby them?
Yeah, you're going to Bill Cosby them. And then what? You're going to rob them in the parking lot of what? $30 in their wallet? You spent $25 on the pill.
Yeah, it's not a good net return.
Do the math. Yeah. So I did that. I did that bit all the way out to the end, and they were dying. They were dying. There was a big dude that was about my size that was sitting in a chair off on one side. He had like sleeve tattoos, and he was slapping the arm of his chair. I was killing. It was the best 10-minute set I had ever done, and I've done some open mics and I've done some comedy shows, and I was just killing. I was destroying. The minute that I got a laugh, the minute she laughed, the cute girl behind the counter laughed.
Oh, it's on.
And the pharmacist, I see the pharmacist, and she's still working, and she just goes,
yeah, somebody got 18 pills instead of 20. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Her head went down, and you could see her shaking, chuckling. And then I got a laugh over here. I heard people standing around and they were laughing. And I was like, oh no, now we're going to do a bit. So I went, bam, I went right to a bit, killed, destroyed. Those girls, of course, they remember me because I always make their day when I go in because I'm charming. Damn it. And I killed. I destroyed.
That's good.
And you make me sit around for 10 minutes. I'm going to tell some jokes.
Listen, people laughing is a good thing. I kind of tend to think that I'm a little bit funny sometimes. Funny looking, funny sounding.
Well, you have your funny moments.
So, yeah. So
I got the lady on the phone this morning. I called Lester's Diner. Occasionally we call Lester's Diner and we get breakfast. Lester's Diner is the
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are the do-do.
40 years at that location of just really good breakfast.
Yeah, and we call the one in Margate on Coconut Creek.
That's where I
Parkway.
go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like to get the big deal.
That's been there since late 70s, I think, right?
Yeah.
The one in Davies been there longer.
Oh, the one in Davies been there since the
1834.
60s.
I think the gold miners
since they built the port.
It was just before they found the Everglades. Yeah,
Right.
That's when it was there. Yeah.
Right, but I get the big deal because, I'm a big deal. But and the big deal is 2 sausage links, sausage patty, 3 pieces of bacon, scrambled eggs, 3 pancakes. Their pancakes are incredible. Okay, and let me tell you what, that thing will it will make you comatose afterwards. You got to drink coffee with it just to stay awake. So they're awesome. So I call them at about 7:25 in the morning. They'd been open for about an hour and a half. And they, on occasion, especially Sunday mornings, get swamped with calls, people doing carry out. So we call, and the first rings 4 times and click.
Oh, no.
She hung up on me.
Oh, no.
Did one of those deals, right? And I was like, oh, no.
Could be a hostage situation.
I'm calling back. Yeah. Hi, thanks for calling Lester's Diner. Can you hold, please? Sure. On hold for almost 8 minutes. Click. What?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's on.
Luckily, they're Lester's.
Called back. Yeah, I wasn't giving up.
Yeah.
This morning I was getting my corned beef omelet. It was happening. So I call back. She answers the phone. I'm like, "Hi, it's me again." Yeah, that was almost 8 minutes I was on hold, right? And I said, "Listen," I said, "relax, okay? You have my sympathies, okay? I've been on your end of the phone before. I understand. Everybody's calling you, gimme. Cool. I know your day just began, okay? So I'm not mad. I ain't mad at you." And I get her chuckling. She starts to chuckle. I go, and she goes, I take it you want to carry out? I was like, yes, I do. I want a carry out order. Thank you very much. And I do the order, and I tell her little jokies and everything. I am Mr. Charming.
I like it.
I am making people happy today. So we're going to make you happy, okay?
And talk about?
And I'm going to give you the floor to talk about your little green friends or your tall gray friends.
I don't even know what they look like.
Or your friends who now are underwater.
Wow. Here's a story.
Underwater.
Alien stuff. We know Marco Rubio, our senator here,
Right.
is the one that's been pushing for a lot of this disclosure. June 1st is the day, and all this stuff's coming out.
And for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to reserve my criticism of Senator Marco Rubio, and I'm going to let you talk about him and his efforts to get the alien news out.
Enlighten the public, I guess. Yes.
Yes.
Another senator.
That I support.
This is another story that I had seen on the news on Tucker about, again, in conjunction with Rubio. There was a video that came out 2019, one of the carriers off the coast of California, video of another, what's the new technical term? I think they're called unidentified. They're not UFOs anymore. There's another term that they're using. A little bit softer. I guess it's to make people feel more comfortable. Something like that. There's another acronym that they use. Regardless, the point is that this video, taken again off the coast of California, naval ship, it goes about 4 minutes, and it's an object, a couple of 100 yards, and it's doing one of these. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Yeah, I mean, just all over the place. Nothing that clearly any of us have the technology to be able to perform that sort of maneuvers. And then after it zip, 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 in the ocean gone. And you can hear the sailors, the servicemen, members talking during the video. And it's real. You can tell based on their emotions, based on their reactions, based on their experience.
And the curse words.
And the expletives that they're like, oh, okay, what was that? We don't know. We have no idea.
What the beep?
There are thousands of these sightings all over across the world by credible people, military personnel, pilots. We've gone into the whole explanations. But what I did not know until this point, which I guess I could have surmised, but he came out and said, oh, yeah, the Navy has hundreds of accounts of vehicles or things that are traveling at speeds north of 100 knots under the water. Hundreds of accounts. And then gone off of satellite pictures and stuff like that. All right, wake up, people. Wake up.
Wait, don't. Whoa. First of all, don't say that, because that rings of crazy man in his mom's basement. Surrounded, the background is surrounded by all kinds of newspaper clippings and string tied between each one. This one is then red string, yellow string, blue string.
A lot of those,
and pins no.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what I sound like or what I'm trying to convey, other than the fact that there are a lot of smart people out there trying to get to us the information that some people in the governments already know.
Right.
And that's coming. More information is going to come out. Well, it's going to be very clear to the average smart person on this planet that we're not alone.
Right. Well, hey, listen, it's just logical to say that, we've seen science fiction movies like The Deep and such, where there have been aliens underwater. Aliens underwater. Sure. Why not? Because the most uncharted area of our planet, which is covered by 2/3 water,
3/4,
the
math.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
it's about 70%.
Pardon my ratio.
Yeah, the math and me are just strong. So,
point being,
a lot of places to go,
a lot of places to roam around under there.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's, you can take a look at the. I've seen the maps that they show you, tracking maps of what the military is keeping track of under the water and in the water. Okay, and there's a lot of little red dots. That's U.S. ships, and a lot of yellow dots, which are Chinese ships, and a lot of there's a lot of traffic going on, and most of it's on top of the water. Mm-hmm. Okay, under the water,
it's a whole nother
harder
world
to track.
The thing is that
every bit of airspace on this planet is pretty much taken, is taken for granted.
We're over the last several years.
Why not under the water?
We're developing, obviously, technology that allows us to develop and look at the topography of the oceans.
Sure.
And they go through and they map things out, and they've been doing this for years. But that doesn't mean that still, just because something is visible to you, that doesn't mean you can see it. Okay? It doesn't mean that it's there where you think it may be. Because, again, we talk about technology of these entities that are out there. Listen, if they don't want to be seen, you have to know that they've got the ability to not want to be seen.
Right.
Okay? If they have all these other technologies and abilities to do all these crazy things that we can only imagine we can do at some point, you don't think they can do one more, which is just to not be seen? It's such an easy thing. The argument, well, how come we haven't seen it? Well, first of all, we've seen thousands and thousands of it. The person saying that is, how come I haven't seen it? How come I haven't seen a green guy at Publix? How come I haven't seen an alien ship over a building or crazy lights in the sky?
It's the lizard people.
The reason why you haven't seen it is because you just haven't seen it, okay? There's not an explanation as to why. It's because you haven't seen it. Maybe if you looked up a few more times, you would have. Maybe if they wanted you to see it, you would have been able to. There's always an explanation for that sort of stuff. It's just, it kills me to think, and I'll say this again, it's math. Math and numbers don't lie. Millions of sightings, one of them, just one, has to be correct. That's it. One has to be correct out of the millions. So you're telling me that if you throw a ball in the air and you swing 1,000,000 times, you're going to miss every time? No.
Well, I might. I'm pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, eventually, I think you'll foul one off. So my point is that it's not even a discussion at this point. It's only a matter of when. It's only a matter of when we're allowed to see what they've already seen.
Right.
Okay. And maybe they don't have all the answers. I believe that. I believe we're searching still, too. Even the smartest of the smartest people in our governments have no idea what's going on to some degree.
Right.
And that's okay. But don't keep it from us. Don't dummy us down to the fact that we can't handle what we already know.
Right. Well, listen, first of all, the floor of the ocean has only been, I believe they said it was less than 40% mapped. Less than 40% of it has been mapped.
Not even sure, but it's a lot that has not been checked.
You get the same magnetic resonance imaging, the stuff that helped find the Titanic. Okay, now they're trying to get a map of the Marianas Trench, which is supposed to be
the deepest part of the ocean.
And the Laurentian Abyss, also a mega deep part of the ocean. The Laurentian Abyss, they had some magnetic resonance imaging, and a lot of them they picked up that's where the giant squids are. Okay, and one of them picked up the head of a sperm whale because it came really close to the satellite that they sent down, the submersible satellite they sent down, and it came really close, and you just see this big square thing, and you can see his mouth, and he's down there hunting for giant squid. It's like, oh, sperm whale,
big one too,
big one, big sperm whale. So you see the creatures down there with that, and they're trying to map the canyons that are prevalent on this planet underwater.
Yeah.
But they still don't have a way to track anybody under there. And if you have a vehicle that can, survive in space, then you definitely have a vehicle that can survive the pressure of the ocean.
Sure.
I mean, you have that kind of technology and that kind of engineering capability.
It's a simple thing. You have to assume that they have figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay. In whatever sense that we haven't, they have.
Right.
Okay. Because they've probably been around a little longer. So they got to the answers. They made their mistakes and they took the advantage and the steps forward for progress and they made a mistake, just like we do. Okay. But the difference is
we're an engineered species. I'm telling you.
I don't have the answers other than the fact that I can say one thing. We're not alone. We're not alone. I'm not going to tell you what they look like. I'm not going to tell you where they live.
And now they're underwater.
Or where they go, or what they're trying to do, or what the game plan is.
So Jacques Cousteau is an alien. Or was an alien.
Perhaps. I think Sacha Baron Cohen, he's definitely an alien. That guy's a whack job.
He's an alien?
Oh, no question. Yeah, that guy's a whack job. And I think Tom Cruise could be borderline alien, maybe like half-breed, 50% alien.
No, he's just a Scientologist.
Straight. He's a whack job. So,
okay. You've run out of gas.
I guess, yeah.
You've run out of gas.
Yeah, I feel like I should be yawning right now.
We're going to attempt to. Hey, I hope the show goes this short next week because we're going to go to a baseball game at 12:00.
Yes.
Because we got a 1 o'clock opening pitch. So, all right. Well, then, on behalf of myself and the Mazz, who has run out of gas, say goodbye to the nice people.
All right, guys. Take care.
Walk it off. Stretch. Hydrate.
Yeah. Everybody have a great week. Watch your sports.
Yep.
We'll see you in a week.
And good luck on your test tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
He's going to get his real estate license.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell me all the answers on the test.
Whatever I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, on behalf of myself and Mazz, make sure you check him out at MLB Joyous on Instagram. And you can search the Gonzo Radio Show on any platform, including LinkedIn, by the way. And, give us a call, give us a jingle, give us some suggestions. Tell us we suck. It doesn't matter because we know we don't. And we'll see you guys next week. Well, I actually should cue the end, shouldn't I? Yeah, cue the ender. All right, bye.